Biden aims to win back white working-class voters through their wallets. In his State of the Union address, the president signaled the opening of a years-long push to persuade white working-class voters to return to the Democratic fold. Winning them over on cultural issues may be more difficult. With his call for a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America, President Biden on Tuesday night acknowledged rhetorically what Democrats have been preparing for 2 years, a fierce campaign to win back white working-class voters through the creation of hundreds of thousands of well-paid jobs that do not require a college degree. Mr. Biden's economically focused State of the Union address may have avoided the cultural appeals to the white working class that former President Donald J. Trump harnessed so effectively, the grievances encapsulated by fears of immigration, racial and gender diversity, and the sloganeering of the intellectual left. But at the speech's heart was an appeal to Congress to finish the job, and a simple challenge. Let's offer every American the path to a good career whether they go to college or not, he said. In truth, much of that path was already laid by the last Congress with the signing of a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, a $280 billion measure to rekindle a domestic semiconductor industry, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which included $370 billion for low-emission energy to combat climate change. Whether or not Mr. Biden can persuade a divided Congress to act on his remaining plans, the money from those laws has just begun to flow, and a surge of hiring is coming. Many of those jobs will be in the industrial battlegrounds that Democrats either took back from Mr. Trump in 2020 or will need in 2024, when endangered senators like Sherrod Brown of Ohio, Joe Manchin III of West Virginia, and Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin face re-election. But Democrats will have to match those jobs against Republican appeals aimed at white grievances. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, a Republican, ordered state agencies and universities this week to stop considering racial and ethnic diversity in hiring. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is waging a campaign against diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts while funding the shipping of migrants from the Mexican border to Democratic cities. The Republican-led House is holding hearings blaming illegal immigrants for the smuggling of fentanyl that is ravaging blue-collar cities and towns, though most of the arrests in the fentanyl trade have involved American smugglers. Republicans openly mocked Mr. Biden's "Finish the Job" slogan, and among working-class voters, they have public opinion on their side. In a recent Washington Post/ABC News poll, just 36% of Americans without a college degree approved of Mr. Biden's job performance, compared with 53% of college graduates. His approval on economic issues was even worse, with just 31% of voters without a degree approving of his handling of the economy.